What's up guys, Ivan Carranza here. Today we're comparing my Dingwall Super P against my Dingwall Super J. Both basses have similar specs, they're slightly different but pretty close. The Super P has a swamp ash body with a wenge neck and fingerboard, and the Super J has a swamp ash and northern ash body, so it's a dual density body, but a roasted ash neck and a wenge fingerboard. Of course, pickup configuration varies from model to model, but other than that, the specs are fairly similar. For this video, I recorded 3 playing samples, finger, pick, and slap, going throughout all pickup configurations on both basses. So that is neck, parallel setting, which is on the Super P, then neck and bridge, as well on the Super J, then the series setting, and the Super P, that is neck and bridge, both pickups in series. For the Super J, that is the bridge and the middle one, and then the bridge pickup on its own. So 4 pickup configurations, 3 different styles of playing. So let's check out the examples, and then we're gonna talk a bit about the basses. As you could hear, both basses sound great. They both sit nicely in a mix. It's hard for me to pick a favorite because both sound really, really good. One thing that you of course cannot tell from the video, from listening to it, is how it feels to play each one. So the J has a narrower neck than the P bass, for example. It's quicker. It's also easier for me, at least, to reach certain positions because of the slimmer neck. If you go higher up the fretboard because the string spacing is narrower, sometimes it is a bit more challenging than on the Super P, which has a wider string spacing, for example. So there are things that are easier to play on the J that are harder to play on the P, and also in reverse, there are things that feel more comfortable to play on the Super P than on the Super J. And then there's, of course, probably one aspect that's a bit overlooked, that is the body shape, of course. They have different body shapes, of course, but that also affects how you play with the instrument, especially when you're up standing on stage. Because, and this is something that I noticed personally, I feel more comfortable with the P bass body because it's more compact. It is not the offset body. And that makes it so that I can have the bass at a comfortable height, and the body of the bass is not resting against my leg, for example, and not pushing my leg inwards, or my leg is not getting in the way of the body of the bass, which happens sometimes depending on how high or low you have the bass with the J or the offset body shape, for example. So that's something that I noticed for myself, and for me it's a sort of important point because I had a knee surgery, an ACL surgery, after a car accident, and while I'm playing live I have to pay attention to my right knee especially, and that's of course where the bass sits or hangs. So having weight or stuff that gets in the way does affect the balance of it a little bit. It's nothing major, of course, but it's something that I noticed while playing live and going on tour. That is not to say that the J body shape is uncomfortable. It is not. I've used my Super J on tour for several shows and it's amazing. But it's just something to pay, attention to, something to keep in mind, because they both hang differently on a strap. They are very well balanced, but the J bass sits or hangs differently than the P bass, for example. So just something to keep in mind, and is at least what I think one of the factors that not many people think about when they buy a bass. How is it gonna hang on a strap? How is it gonna allow me to move around on stage? Because of course we all focus on the specs of the bass, the fingerboard, the body wood, the pickups and so on, but how the bass hangs or how it feels to have it sitting down, what is the angle of the neck, is it like more horizontal or more like at an angle? That also affects how your fretting hand is gonna move. So maybe you have to hold your arm higher while playing, which is of course activating more muscles here in your back, so you might get tired more quickly. Or maybe it's like more horizontal and then your wrist is like at a sharper angle, for example. So all of those things play a role when you're, playing for a long time, especially on stage. So it's just something to keep in mind. But like I said, as I mentioned, I think both basses sound great. I really like both. Of course, I own them. They're mine. But I'm curious, what did you like the best and why? So please let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.